Welcome back to another sunny day in Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling, and shall we see what's going on our island of Fawnhollow today? I was going to close my window. My window's already closed. Look at me, I'm already prepared. It was kind of hot today, but it doesn't really matter. If I boil, I boil. If I freeze, I don't know how I freeze, then so be it. So, it's a little bit later recording today than usual. Seems to be the new norm. I'd imagine this will become a new staple time, but yeah. It's just I was really tired today because, well, I stayed up pretty late last night, but I'll get to that in a bit. Hello there, everyone. Right now in Fawnhollow, it's 4:50 PM on Thursday, July 9th, 2020. No news to report today. Have a wonderful Thursday. Something, something, something. Thank you as well. I didn't play last night again because got distracted, I suppose, by playing a lot of Mahjong. Or Mahjong, as I normally like to call it, but still. Oh yeah, we got a new wetsuit. Forgot about that. Fuchsia. Basically, dear, there's none of this world you could care about, but the only thing worth caring about is friends. If you don't have folks to hang out with or write letters to, what do you really have? Nothing. Friends forever. Fuchsia. Thank you, Fuchsia. Yeah, so, let's see. Is Red here? Red is not here, so who our mystery guest might be, who knows? We have some random presents. Why don't we give it to you, Rowan? So yeah, last night, stayed up pretty late, playing Mahjong with my friends, because, I don't know, we just did. And I gotta say, I have an advantage because if you don't know, I'm Chinese, or well, my parents are Chinese. I was born in Britain, but anyway, that's not the point. So I've had exposure to Mahjong since I was younger. Oh, what's up, Somersault? Gah, I really want a gym tea so bad. Sure. Didn't Rowan literally just give this to us? Anyway, so yeah, I've had exposure to Mahjong since I was little. What we played was called Vichi Mahjong, which is the Japanese Mahjong, which is apparently slightly different to Chinese Mahjong, I guess. I don't really know how different it is, but still. There's some differences, and what I used to play was a much more simplified version. Because, you know, I guess it was my parents or grandparents who I played with were introducing me to the concept of Mahjong. And Mahjong, if you don't know, has a ridiculous amount of rules. Like, because I was playing it last night and I was like, man, I feel like I don't know all the rules that well. I should research them, you know. Make sure that the next time we play it, I can explain something that goes on and I can properly understand what's going on if something happens. And there's, so I YouTubed, I was like, Mahjong tutorial. The first one is 3.5 hours long. It's so long. What the hell? Now, granted, even the simplified version of Mahjong, which I used to play, which, if you know about Vichi Mahjong, it didn't, like, bother with, Yaku or anything like that. It was just make a... Oh, I don't know which one's which. I'm just going to assume that one was the old one. It was just basically make a hand with the correct number of melds and pairs, and you're fine. Which is, you know, fair enough. Let's grab... Let me think. We had 3, so we need 2. So we need 2 wrapping paper. So we'll just grab this one. So yeah, which is all fine. But there's a huge amount of rules in Mahjong. Like, even just setting up the game is a ridiculous amount of, like, people with the way that seats are decided, and it's like, what is it like? You have to, yeah, if you don't know, I'm going to briefly skim over a lot of rules of Mahjong. I'm sorry, so if you don't know what's going on, then, I don't know, maybe you can watch it yourself. Oh, hello, Flick. Basically, there's 4 wind tiles in the game, and the seating order is decided by the wind tiles, or something like that. So the way you decide who sits where is, you take 4 of the pieces, the tiles, I suppose, 1 of each wind type, and a blank tile. Put them all, like, face down in the centre, mix them around, and each player, it's a 4-player game, draws 1. And then whoever draws a blank tile, draws again. Otherwise, it, by default, goes to someone else. I can't remember exactly. It goes to the person with the east wind. I forget exactly. And then, from there, whoever... I can't remember exactly. No, whoever drew which directional wind tile, that's the wind tile they're going to be for the starting round. And then whoever drew the blank tile, the place that they drew at, that's where the east wind player starts at. And then you go counterclockwise round, going east, south, west, north. Which is... I read that and I was like, what? my grandparents and parents went easy on me. I had no idea this was a thing, and it's utterly insane. To be honest, do we want any of these? Pinball wizard. Now we'll just leave. And that's just determining seating order. And I was like, what? When was this a thing? But, you know, I guess that's sort of like a tradition thing baked in a tradition. It doesn't, you know, people don't really do that every time. They sort of just sit wherever and be like, you could be east wind or whatever. But that's how I imagine it goes most of the time, but still. And then there's stuff about, you know, you deal out the tiles and stuff. That stuff sort of like, I'm kind of used to, because that's like what was introduced to me, I suppose, when I was younger, so. It's not all that crazy when I heard about it. I'd imagine if you haven't heard about Mahjong. Sorry, I keep calling it Mahjong because that's what it's called in Chinese, I believe. I guess I should say Mahjong since I'm speaking English. So yeah, with Mahjong, if you haven't played it before, I'm actually going to crack my window, this is so hot in here. It's, there's a lot of, like, little things you have to do, like, to set up the tiles, you all need to, you shuffle the tiles, of course, and unless you've got a really fancy Mahjong table, which I'm not gonna lie, if I ever get super rich and I just have like money to spare, I think a Mahjong table is actually one of the things that I definitely want to buy. And now that my friends are learning to play Mahjong, it's actually even better, because now we've got people to play with. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking with you, I don't have any fruit to give you. So the way you deal out tiles is you get all of, like, was it 130 tiles in the middle, face down, you mix them all about and all that, and each player builds up a row of like 17 tiles, 17 by 2 basically. So you have 17 face down tiles and then 17 face down tiles on top of that. So you got a mini wall. So I guess we can do that for 4 by 34, 136 tiles in total. That's how you distribute them. And once you've done that, the east wind player, I believe, rolls the dice, and then you count counterclockwise, including starting with number 1 on yourself. This is like a test of how well I remember the rules, to see if I could be a good enough teacher when we play again. What happens then? They count counterclockwise from them, and then whoever they end up at also rolls the dice, I think. Yeah, that sounds about right. They also roll the dice and they do the same counting thing, and whoever they end up at, that's the person's wall that you start breaking from, and then you count like clockwise for some reason. No, from the right side of your wall to the left. That number that landed them on that person, if that makes sense, that probably makes no sense, inwards, and you make a division, and then you go 7 back counterclockwise again, and make another division, and that, like, 14 tiles makes up the dead wall, which is basically tiles which are never in, well, not never in play, but tiles that you can never get into your hand. And then, so that's a setup, and then the dealer, who is also the east wind, I believe, starts out by taking 4 tiles from the other side of a break, going clockwise around all walls. Everyone takes 4 tiles in turn, until they make up a hand of, was it 13? Yeah, 13. And then from there, normal Mahjong rules apply. You finally delivered all the tiles and stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, so that's all the rules for setting up the game, now to actually play the game, which is in a whole other ballpark of itself. I don't know, apparently I'm just going to spend this entire day just talking about Mahjong. So Mahjong is like a trick-based game, I guess? It's not really a trick-based game, it's sort of like, it's akin to, it's not really akin to poker. It's a game where you build up your hand, basically, and you try to get like certain, like, 3 of a kinds, 4 of a kinds, or runs, or certain, I suppose, patterns to make a valid hand. Oh, I'm talking about Richie Mahjong, by the way, where you want to create it in such a way that your hand is a yaku. What is a yaku, you ask? Yaku is just basically a predetermined winning hand. So, like, one example is you have all of your tiles of the same suit or something like that, like all of them are bamboo, or like you have no honor or terminal tiles. Terminal tiles meaning, oh yeah, if I guess I should probably explain the tiles. I don't remember giving you a Goliath beetle, Vivian. Apparently I did. So the tiles in Mahjong, there are 4 suits. There's bamboo, what I call stones, apparently they're called circles or dots. I thought they're called stones, apparently they're not. And numbers or characters. Sorry, 3 suits. Did I say 4 suits? That's wrong, that's normal cards. When are you going to give me your photo, Vivian? So yeah, 3 suits. They all have numbers 1 to 9, and there's 4 copies of each number in the... There's 4 copies of each tile, I suppose, in the entire Mahjong set. And then, apart from those, there's also 4 wind tiles, which are unrelated to... They're not like their own suit, they're just north, east, and south, and west wind. And then there's 3 dragon tiles, a green dragon, red dragon, and a white dragon. So there we go. We've established all that. Got that out of the way. What are we talking about right now? Oh yeah, so you want to make a yaku. And basically, yakus are things that are like certain properties that your hand will hold, such as your hand. You basically need to make four melds. A meld is any trio of a valid. Another Jacob's ladder. Is any valid trio or 4 pair. So, for example, you could have 3 of a kind, or you could have a run of 3, like the numbers 1, 2, 3 in the same suit, or 4, 5, 6, or 2, 2, 3, 4, something like that. So yeah, those are called melds. You need 4 melds and then 1 pair to make a valid hand. Full stop. You can also, a melder can also be a 4th kind, but that's sort of like a fringe case. Sometimes that happens. I don't know, if you're interested in Mahjong, you probably shouldn't be learning from me. This is more just like a idle chatter thing as I go around my island looking for fossils. So yeah, you need to get 4 melds and a pair. And there's a lot of different yakus. It's also 5 o'clock, we can get rare beetles now. Depending which have certain property, which your hands can, how do I phrase this? Properties which your hand can have. For example, you can have 4 melds, all of them being 3 of a kinds. That would be a valid hand, or you could have all of them in the same suit, something like that. So that's the object of the game, is you want to build up a hand, a valid hand. And then some yakus are worth more points basically than others because they're harder to get, or they're rarer, or you can combine yakus together, that sort of thing. So basically how play goes is you start off by drawing a tile from the board, of course going clockwise around from where you took the tiles from, and then you look at your hand of, what would it be, I guess, currently 14, and then choose one of your hands to discard, or one of your tiles to discard. You put it in your discard pile. Turns out discard pile is also very important for a rule which I didn't realise, maybe it's just exclusive to Japanese Mahjong, I'm not sure. It's called 3D10. Which I'll get into later. And basically, once that happens, you discard your card, play goes to the next person. And then they all do the same thing. Now, there's ways... now, as is, that basically means your hand is basically predetermined if you only use those rules, because it's just based entirely off the tiles you draw. But this is where it gets interesting. You can do things called, in Japanese Mahjong, at least called chi and pong. I know it as chu and pong. Which basically means if a person before you puts down a tile, which you can use to make up a run, for example, they put down the 1 of bamboo, and then you have a 2 and 3 of bamboo in your, I don't even know what I'm buying here. I just exited. I pressed B instead of A. If you had a 2 and 3 of bamboo, and the person before you put down a 1 of bamboo, you can chew that, which basically just means eat it. Oh, I've never seen this before, that's cute. Low battery? Oh, it's actually low battery, but it stopped working, so I guess we'll switch these out. So you can chew it and then add it to your hand, and that basically takes up the draw for your turn, and then you choose something to discard. The alternative is you can pong something. If someone's put something down and you already own the pair, if you already own that pair, for example, if someone put down like an east wind or something and you had 2 east winds in your hand, you can pong it and basically take it as a 3 of a kind. And you can take that for, no, I messed up. Oh well, whatever. You can basically claim it for yourself as a 3 of a kind. And then, yeah, that's good. Or not good, as the case may be, depending on strategy. I don't know. I don't know much about Mahjong strategy. There's probably a lot more than I even realise. What was I saying? Yeah, so there's other ways you can add stuff to your hand. There's also a thing called kan, or gan, in Chinese, which you can do. It's basically pong, but for 4 of a kind. And then that does some other stuff. That's like, I don't know. But this is only a basic skim over tutorial, I suppose, of Mahjong. So, once that happens, yeah, that's the way you can build your hand up, I suppose, by doing variations of that. Who have we not given something to? Audi? No, we gave something to Audi. Flo, right? Yeah, Flo. What was I saying? Yeah, then play continues around the table until someone gets a winning hand, in which case then or until someone's won off a winning hand, then you're in what's called tempai. And then basically whenever someone puts down a winning a tile which would cause your hand to be a winning hand, you can run it. Hopefully it's just vibing. Fair enough. Sorry, excuse me. You can run it and you win. And then you get scores based off like what Yaku you went with, what other special tiles that might be worth more points are in your hand, and all that sort of good stuff. And then people lose points depending on it. It's like a closed system of points, basically. Yeah, and then once that happens, you rotate all the wins around. So the dealer rotates it as well, that sort of thing. And then play goes again. And normally it goes about 8 rounds or so. And then whoever's got most points at the end wins. Now, the thing of Richie Mahjong is, which is also something I didn't know, basically because it's exclusive to Richie Mahjong and not actually in Chinese Mahjong that I'm aware of. Also, we should definitely sort out our storage, because didn't we have too many things in storage last time? Let's do that now, hold on. I need to actually focus a little bit. I don't think I can talk freely over it. Or maybe I can, I don't know, we can try. As Richie Mahjong, which basically whenever you're in Tenpai, which means you're one thing away from winning, at least one tile away from winning, and you're just waiting on it, you can call Richie, which is basically you put a wager down being like, I bet I'm going to be able to... Actually, wait, we shouldn't throw that away, because that's actually pretty nice, isn't it? You make a wager being like, I think I can win by locking in my hand and just waiting for someone to throw away the thing I need. And then, yeah, you put a wager down, and then if you win, you'll get like a bonus or something. Or I suppose the more important thing is it counts as a Yaku in itself. So if you didn't have like if you had a terrible hand, I suppose, you could use Richie as a way to win. We don't need this many toy centipedes. I think we can sell that. Oh, we should also take out some bugs, because Flick's here, right? Which one do we want to make a thing of? Well, we're selling these two, definitely. Why don't we do Firefly? Sounds nice, doesn't it? What was I saying? I don't know. Wow, that's a cool garden name. I forgot. I actually just completely forgot what I was talking about. Oh, Richie. Oh, we also need to change clothes as well. That's true. So, yeah, that's like another way you can win. But the thing, which is also in Japanese Mahjong, well, it might be in Chinese Mahjong as well, at least I'm not aware of it, if it is a thing called Furitan, which I mentioned before. Which is, apparently, as I learned, it's basically a rule put in place such that you... Oh, we have a lot of duplicate clothes, don't we? Oh, we should also change our outfit. We haven't done that for ages, have we? What's our headgear that we were wearing? I don't know. Maybe we should change it to a hibiscus. Oh, we don't have an orange one. Okay, well. Let's edit our one outfit, and we'll get back into that topic afterwards. Or we do it at the same time. Should we have like a beach one? Can we make a beach outfit? I don't know. That's probably not like swimwear or anything, I'd imagine. Could put on a tube top, I suppose. Wherever it is. Front tie top. I know, it can look kind of lame, doesn't it? Why do I only have it in these two colours as well? That could be interesting. Lemon skirt? Nah. Torn pants? Why do I have so few trousers? Maybe I have a better dress which I can use instead. A bathrobe, that sounds interesting. Oh, that's quite pretty. That's much of a winter thing. We need a summer thing. I sure have a lot of weird clothes in here, don't I? What have I been buying? None of these are particularly summer related. Or if it is, I've definitely skipped over it. A wedding dress? That seems excessive. Huh. Corduroy's a bit weird. Maybe we go with floral. Have we done? We haven't done a cute outfit yet, have we? Maybe we should do a cute outfit. Just ditch for summer, you know? That's a bit much, isn't it? That's like a doll. That's quite nice. Maybe we'll go one of these. Figure skating? That's not really a thing. Dollhouse dress? I mean, that's literally a doll, I suppose. Dreamy dress. Oh, yeah, let's do a dreamy one. Like a dream. Do we have like a nightcap? I don't think we have a nightcap though. What would you wear when you go to sleep? Oh, we do have a nightcap. Oh, it's the wrong colour though. Oh, a bunny hood. One of these animal ones, maybe. That's probably a bit excessive. A sheep hood. Okay, let's go with that. We're counting sheep now. What's a sheep snout? That's not really a sheep snout, but you know, it'll do. Unless there is a sheep snout. Is there a sheep snout? Not what I can see. That seems like one of the most fitting ones. Back bow socks. They got bows on the back. Shoes, slippers. I guess so. Mermaid shoes. Oh. Ribbon sandals. And what sort of bag? Probably this one, right? This is definitely the weirdest outfit. Ah, we can't see our hair with this though. That is a problem. That's interesting. You know, we don't always have to see our hair. Let's do it. We'll call it Dream Sheep. And it's probably the most bizarre one I've done. Like the others I feel like have a semblance of actual style going for it. This one's just sort of like, yeah, whatever. We'll change up our hairstyle as well. What have we not used yet? I haven't used this one, right? We're not even going to be able to see it though. This one's a bit too smart, I think. Let's go with this one. And, what colour should we go with it? What colour have we not used? Have we used plain white? I don't think we have. Let's go for it. And then let's get this wand out. Actually, we should get some more clothes in here to sell. Because we have a far too many. Like, we don't need all of these front ITs. I think that's... Yep, that's our max inventory. Alright. Alright. Okay, back to Furitan, which I talked about 5 minutes ago but never actually explained. So basically, Furitan is a thing which prevents you from winning. And what it means is, if one of the tiles you're waiting on, which would win you the game if you drew it, not if you drew it, if someone else played it and you can run it, if it would win you that game and you've discarded it previously before, you cannot win anymore. No matter... Oh, you can't win, I should say, from a run. Oh, you can kind of see the hair. Okay, that works. You can't win from a run because, you just can't. That's the rule of Furitan. You can still win if you luck out and draw into, the thing you want. But if someone else plays it, you can't claim it for yourself and claim it as a win. Now, why this happens, as I learned from watching that YouTube video, is because it's to prevent people from targeting someone in particular. Because without that rule, then if someone... Let's think, if you draw into like the winning tile, but you want to specifically target the point leader, then you can just discard that tile, that winning tile. You can discard that winning tile, wait for them to get to their turn, and they might have a chance of playing the tile, and then you can run them, and then they would lose all their points. Because if you don't know, when you win in Mahjong, your points, if you draw into a win, like you take it from the top of a deck, that's called Tsumo, and what that means is everyone else equally loses points. But if someone else plays a card and then you take it from them, and that's a run, and that means they lose all the points that you get from winning. So that's what Furitan's there for. I'm sorry I didn't do the flick voice this time, but whatever. You've heard of flick voice multiple times. So yeah, the point of Roten is to stop that from happening, so you can't specifically target one player. Otherwise you'd be able to throw away your winning hand to potentially target someone else. And there's other like Roten as well. It's a very confusing rule, I think. Especially for my friends who are rather new to Mahjong, where are like, Roten, I don't understand. And it's a rule which I understand why it's there, because it's there to prevent, you know, exploitations happening in the game, like bending of rules in unsportsmanlike ways, but it's a very, very broad stroke, you know. But I guess I don't know how else you would implement it. And I guess we'll sell these birdwing butterflies to you, because what else are we going to do? Yeah, so... oh, sell. So what was I saying? I actually immediately forgot. Yeah, so Roten. It's a very broad stroke rule for a very specific scenario. I can't help but think there's probably a better way to implement it than Roten, but maybe there really isn't. Because that's just the thing with humans. They're going to find a way to try and exploit the rules in their favour. Because that's what you do. If you're in a competition trying to win. This is another horned elephant, which we've already got one of, I believe. That was a bit fast, but... I'm just going to check out as a horned elephant so I can know whether I'm meant to be sad or not. I'm pretty sure that was. Yeah, that was. Okay. That's not one we need, game. We need other stuff. Come on. I know it's all randomly generated, but still. That's a horned dynasty. We don't need that. So yeah, I only got halfway through that Mahjong tutorial video because it's really long. I was watching it like, I don't know, like 2 or something, instead of programming, because I was too lazy. And I watched half of it and I was like, this is just like literally an information overload. Like I'm actually kind of drained thinking about it, and I already knew about half of these rules anyway. So yeah, hopefully I'm gonna finish watching it maybe later today or something. I don't know exactly when I'll do it. But I will eventually, because I want to be the source of knowledge, and because when meetups will be allowed again, my friends are like, oh, when we play it, it's going to be so much harder than it is going to be in playing online, because we're going to have to know the rules. So I'm like, don't worry, I got this. I'm going to learn the rules. I'm going to figure out what's going on. I'm going to be like, you're in Roten, you can't do that. And then hopefully with that I can learn a little bit of strategy and help everyone else out a little bit. And then once you know the rules, if you know them well enough, you can start teaching it to people, and that's the best part. Teaching others a game you like to play, so they can enjoy it as well. Or at least experience it. They don't necessarily have to enjoy it, you know, different games for different people. Not everything people always have to love. But yeah, I think Mahjong's pretty fun, well at least for now. Much better, something much better on online capabilities, because it's something with ridiculous rules, which I don't want to remember necessarily all of them in person. I'm bound to forget. I'm more interested in learning a bit of strategy, to be honest, about Mahjong. I thought that was a shark for a second. So, my basic strategy right now is very basic, because, I mean, the way I used to play it back when I was first taught about it, didn't have Yaku, didn't have winning hands. As long as you had 4 melds and a pair, that was enough to win, no matter what. And we didn't have Roten as well, so it's much more simplified. So now I actually got to think about the hand I'm building, or what to go for, and all that business, which makes things infinitely more complicated. Oh my god, it's really been 30 minutes. I can't believe I talked about Mahjong for 30 minutes. What is wrong with me? Oh well, since we have no shark, I suppose we'll just run back to town centre, and we'll wrap up this video here. It's been a very eventful one, I guess, talking about Mahjong. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I've been Dear Darling. Any likes, comments and subscriptions are greatly appreciated, and I hope we can see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now, and I guess with this new outfit, good night. Though it's not night time. Oh well.